Shall I ask if they can hear us? Jack?
Oh, well, no, we're not going yet.
Not yet. It's not ready to go yet.
Okay, there we go. That's looking like we're live.
Hey.
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. Is that just ask people if they can hear the.
Yeah, I'm just checking now. I'm just asking if they. Oh, Alison says that she can hear us now. Yay! Woo! That was exciting. Our tech team just rode in and saved the day, I think. Good. We're getting the thumbs up from everyone. This is fantastic. Jack, can I just get something to put over the screen? Just a short bit of paper to put over the picture.
Just so you don't see it.
Yeah, I can't talk to myself.
Is that fine?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you sure that's working? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Whew, okay. All right. So very warm welcome to the Monday night. Thanks for bearing with us. What happened was we had a system update unexpectedly, and it's just caused the sound and the cameras to crash. So but anyway, here we are now. What I was saying, if for those of you that can't lip read, is that we are now in week 2 of the meditation challenge. So really warm welcome to week 2. If you've been away from the live stream for a while, you might not know what the meditation challenge is. So I'm just gonna remind us what we're challenging ourselves to do. So we're going to meditate every day for 6 weeks. We started last week, so we've got 5 weeks. So we're on a roll for a week. If you just started, that's fine. You can sign up still. So we're going to be meditating every day for that's what we're setting our challenge is to meditate every day. And how we're going to do that is we're going to support that with a live stream. This live stream every Monday night. Where we're going to hear from people from the community. We're going to hear from Jack a little bit later about what meditation means to them. And I'll be building up this toolkit week on week so we can start to really establish ourselves in meditation. Or if we've already got a meditation practice, we can really deepen that. So that's the first half live stream. And in the second half, what we'll be doing is we'll be meeting up interactively on this, what we're calling the challenge check-in. So that's a chance to really go deeper into the theme of the week and hear from one another about how the challenge is going, the inspirations and the obstacles. We're going to keep ourselves fresh and motivated in the challenge by tuning into our Discord channel, our online platform. And there already, it's been so much energy this week, so much. I've been really enjoying what everyone's been posting up about the 5 forces, the 5 forces of motivation that we got into last week, the 5 forces that are going to support the challenge. So we've been hearing a lot about how people have been using that to support. It's been brilliant. And posting little short videos and little short guided meditations and so on. So that's the Discord channel. So in a moment, Cheryl's going to just post a link up. We've done that. Okay, so that's the link. You can just click on that and sign up. If you're not already signed up, just sign up and get on board the challenge from now on in. And we're going to do all that as a kind of community. So for this period, I'm really delighted. We've got the team down here, the Monday night team. Normally, the Monday night team are welcoming people in to the class. We're setting it all up. There's a tea break and all that. But we're just here gathered now today to start to get this feeling of atmosphere. So at some point during this 6 weeks, we're going to be inviting people back in, inviting people, throwing open the doors to the Buddhist Centre, opening up the doors and welcoming people back in. So yeah, just sign up to the challenge, and it's free and it's just by donation. So don't let that be an obstacle. So what we've got tonight is, in a moment, I'm going to do this 3-minute breathing space that we always do, just a way of just settling ourselves in. I'm going to need it as much as anyone else after that start. So we're just going to set ourselves in, and then after that, we're going to hear from Jack about what meditation means to him in a short talk. And I'm particularly so delighted to have Jack this side of the camera. Jack, for many, many moons, has been doing the tech on the other side of the camera, bringing these live streams to us. And now you're going to have opportunity to see him in the flesh and hear him talk about what meditation means to him. So I'm looking forward to that. Following that, we're going to talk, I'm going to give a short talk about how to deepen awareness. Last week, we warmed things up with what is awareness, how, what is meditation, what is awareness. And now we're going to talk this week about how to deepen into that. And there will be a guided meditation which will kind of explore that experientially in the meditation. Okay, so that's what we've got lined up in the first half. I'll say a bit more about the second half when we get to that point. Okay, so let's settle ourselves in. No rush. Just get yourself settled in. Get what you need to sit comfortably. So wherever you are, just if you're on your chair at home, on your sofa, or sitting on some meditation cushions like we are here, just starting to tune in to what it's like to be alive just now. Taking in what's happening through the senses, what you can hear, kind of space around you. And then feeling the sensations of your body. And particularly noticing the support that you're getting from the ground, or if you're on a chair, from the chair. Just allowing your weight to drop into that support. And just everything from the waist down can just start to relax and soften down into the support. So letting any gripping go in, letting any tension from the thighs start to release. Any tension in the belly. Just letting the shoulders go. Letting your face soften. And then feeling the breath however you feel it. As it moves in the body. Noticing where you feel the breath most vividly. that feels like there. And then expanding the sense of the breath into all parts of the body. As if your body is infused with the breath. And then just expanding out again to notice everything that's coming in through the senses, the sounds, sense of space around you, sense of being grounded. Sense of being here with other people meditating. Magically connected up through this technology, all meditating together, coming together in this shared endeavour. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Jack now. We're down to one camera setup, so I'm going to just move over and give Jack the floor.
I'm just going to post the links while you do that.
Okay.
Hello. So, good evening, everyone. I'm going to talk about what meditation is really about for me. So, I want to start by talking about why I first came to Brixton, and it was really out of fear, because I had this moment where I realized that I didn't want to get old and look back on my life and realize that I hadn't been there. This is my weird kind of fear that kept on cropping up, that I could be very ambitious and achieve great things in my career or my relationships, or my or I could travel all around the world, but if I hadn't actually been there and been alive to the experience as it was happening, then none of it would have actually counted. So I thought the best thing would be if I could train my mind to experience reality more vividly. Started coming along to these meditation sessions, and this is my experience. I would try to focus on the breath or whatever I was meditating upon, and I would kind of get into a thought bubble. This is the best visual metaphor I can come up with. So it was like I was in this bubble, and I wouldn't notice I was in the bubble until it popped. And of course, I couldn't pop the bubble from inside because I was in the bubble. I was lost in thought, so it didn't occur to me to pop it. It was only when it actually popped, bang, oh, I'm supposed to be meditating. And this started to get really painful for me because I felt kind of powerless. It was like constantly waking up from this dream. So there's this writer who I love called John York, and he's a screenwriter. He's done loads of stuff for the BBC, and he wrote this book all about stories. And basically, his thesis is that in every good story, the protagonist starts with something that they want, and in trying to get that thing that they really want, they realize what they actually need. So it's like this deeper need kind of comes in, and that's what makes a really satisfying story. So, for example, it would be something like, they want fame or success or, to defeat their rival, but then they realize halfway through, oh no, what I'm actually missing is friendship or family or love or whatever. So how does that apply here? Well, I wanted to live in a more vivid, on a more vivid level. I wanted to be kind of closer to life. That, is a very appealing goal. But I realized what I needed to learn from meditation was actually how to forgive myself. Because I couldn't pop this bubble from the outside, I couldn't pop this bubble from the inside, sorry. What I could choose to do was forgive myself for not being able to do that. So then it was kind of liberating because I realized that this isn't a practice in, this isn't necessarily a practice in living more vividly, it's a practice in being kind to myself. And maybe that's actually what I need. And it's really hard to forgive people, particularly when they've let you down, and no one lets us down more regularly than ourselves. So what I realized is if you can learn to forgive yourself, then you can probably learn to forgive other people. And if you can forgive other people, then you can learn to love other people. So I think that forgiveness is really the basis of love. One caveat that I should add here is that you can't actually cheat this. So you can't, I remember when I was a kid and I would go to church and they would keep on saying, God will forgive you. I kind of thought, oh, well, if God's just going to forgive me, then I can just do whatever I want. But it doesn't work that way, because if you're not actually trying to do something, if I'm not actually trying to meditate, then I can't fail. And if I can't fail, then I can't forgive myself. So yeah, you can't cheat it in that way. So in summary, what meditation means to me is, I think it's ultimately a training in forgiveness and love. And I can't think of anything more meaningful than that. Thank you very much. That's mine.
Great, thanks so much, Jack. Really interesting. Like in a way, listening to you then, I kind of thinking that, okay, so there's this challenge, yeah, this challenge of meditating every day, but what are we really trying to do? What are we trying to do with that? That's the kind of form, so to speak. But what are we trying to do with that? And I mean, I'm hoping it will unfold over the 6 weeks, that we can, for ourselves, determine the way that Jack has kind of, in a way, essentialised something for himself, that we can work out, well, what is it we are trying to do by meditating every day. It's not just a goodly act, it's actually trying to address something essential in the human experience. So, yeah, thanks a lot, Jack. I thought we really drew that out really, really well. Yeah, it's really good. Okay, so I mean, I'm going to just continue in a way with that theme, which is, well, I suggested that we were going to talk about or think about how to deepen awareness, following on from last week, which was, yeah, in a way, kind of having a look at, well, what is meditation and what is awareness? So how does one deepen awareness? Well, one way you could look at it is, how do we know if our awareness is deepening? How do we know? Are there any kind of signs, so to speak, of that happening? And well, yes, there are. There are signs for that happening. There's a kind of ease. There's a kind of new kind of ease, I think, which can enter into your experience. A kind of ease that's a bit like when Amra Pushpa turned off the air conditioning earlier. I was just like, oh, God. I hadn't realised it was actually even making a loud noise, but there it was. It kind of, there was that release of a certain tension. So that is one sign for awareness deepening, is there is a kind of release or a relief that enters into our system. Our systems are quite on, aren't they? So much of the time they're kind of on. And our systems are, yeah, they're quite tight and on, and we can just start to feel ourselves starting a new type of ease entering into our system, entering into our mind. And there's also pleasure. So there's more pleasure available as your mind deepens. Not a frothy kind of pleasure, but a kind of more deeper, satisfying pleasure. And also there's this sense of unification, isn't there? There's this sense of like things coming together, things being more together, things being more integrated. So all of these experiences that we can touch into in meditation are in a way like mystical experiences, yeah? There are in a way like mystical experiences, aren't they? These kind of the visions that can come up, the images that can come up, changing the physical sensations, even unexpected kind of ecstasy or changes in pleasure that can happen, an aesthetic sense. In a way, it's like a mystical experience. But all you have to do is follow the breath. So all you have to do is follow the breath, and your mind will deepen. You have to be with the breath, your mind will deepen. But it's not obviously as simple as that, as Jack was pointing out. We can't force ourselves to stay with the breath. If we force ourselves to do anything, a strain enters in. And if a strain enters in, our system notches up again, okay, and this ease is lost. So if we've got this strain happening, we can't kind of enter into this flow of other type of experience that I'm talking about. So we don't want to force ourselves to do anything. We don't want to force ourselves to do anything. But at the same time, if we don't guide our minds in any way, it's just going to do our own habitual thing. It's just going to be like sitting down, but on a cushion. It's like sitting on a bus or sitting anywhere else. But you just happen to be sitting on a meditation cushion. So And if you do that, you can be sure that your mind will just do what it always does. It will just, there'll be memories, there'll be thoughts, distractions, planning, but just whatever your mind normally does. That's what will be happening. So we need to observe what's going on. We need to give some sort of guidance during the meditation. We need to give some sort of guidance. We need to kind of have some sort of sense of observation of what's going on to create that kind of space. Last week, Emma was talking about, wasn't she? She was talking about this space that kind of entered into her experience as a result of meditating. A space around kind of decisions. I don't know if you were tuned in, but yeah, space around decisions. So we need to create that space by kind of guiding our mind into something that it can become absorbed in. Yeah? But it's not enough to have that to have a kind of cool analytical, a kind of awareness of the breath. That's not going to be enough. What we need is an open-heartedness. We need an open-heartedness so that we can be with the kind of vagaries of the human mind. The human mind is quicksilver. It's always moving. Since you've been watching this live stream, since you were watching it and not hearing it, and since you guys were here, well, both hearing it and watching it, but kind of on pause, so to speak, there's a whole flow of thoughts and feelings that's been happening, isn't there? The quicksilver movement of the mind. So one has to be open-hearted to that, open-hearted to the changeable nature of the mind. So there needs to be guidance and an open-heartedness. So when we go off, when we're watching the breath and we go off, we do need to guide ourselves back, but not in a kind of hyper-vigilant kind of way. We need to guide ourselves back in a kind of open-hearted way. It's like we can't insist on the type of mind we're going to have right now. We can't insist on that open, easeful mind. We can't insist on that. We have to be a kind of acknowledge that this is the mind, this is the kind of mind I've got right now, the kind of mind I've got right now. Yeah, and I'm doing my best to just guide myself back onto the breath. And the question then is how intelligently we can go about doing that. So this guided meditation we're going to be doing in a short wee while is going to be about focus, and it's going to be about breath. We're going to be moving between focus, where we kind of hone in on the breath, and breath, where we kind of open up to what it's like to be alive, meditating just at the moment. Yeah. So how we're going to do that is we're going to have a few close-up moments with the breath, where we're trying to get up close to the kind of fabric, the weave of the breath, and then we're just going to relax and just allow ourselves to be kind of open-hearted in the moment. Yeah. So we're going to be taking in then sensation. We're going to be taking in the things that we're going to be taking in: a sensation, the feeling, tone of the emotional sense that's going on, the thought that's happening. So kind of going to zoom out a bit, yeah, just to take that in. But I've got I suppose I've got a couple of things to say when I say about the thought. The thought, for the purposes of this meditation, when I say be aware of the thought, I don't necessarily mean the content of the thought. It's so difficult to kind of get aware of the content of the thought and not get caught up with it. So in a way, what I want us to do is, in a way, just to get a sense of the activity of thought, the feeling of thought, the sensation of thought. Thought comes attendant with sensation and feeling, which you can experience through the body. Yeah. So rather than kind of become aware of necessarily the thoughts and the content of the thought. We're just going to notice thought as an activity. Yeah? And these amount to the 3 of the 4 spheres of mindfulness that we'll talk about much more fully in the second half. Sensation, feeling, and thought in this sense of kind of the activity of thought. And we're going to move between the focus and breath. Focus on the breath, and then just this creation of a bigger container in which the kind of breath is kind of happening, so to speak, this bigger container where it's happening. So when we get distracted, don't kind of even need to get worried about that. It's just a cue for you to broaden your awareness. When we go off, it's just a cue for you that you've got a bit too narrow and just to broaden back out again. Yeah. If we get caught up in some sort of replay of a situation that we're in, or some conversation we've had, or we just acknowledge that is, whether it's painful, whether it's pleasant, and then just zoom back out, broaden out, and come back out again. Yeah, before gathering ourselves to pay more attention to the breath one more time. So that's pretty much what we'll have a go at. I'll guide us through trying to find some sense of being really close up to the breath, intimate with the breath, and then a kind of zooming out to create that kind of bigger container. Yeah, open-hearted kind of attitude towards what's happening. Is that all right? We'll have a go at that? Yeah. Okay. So let's set ourselves up for meditation. There's no rush to get started, so let's just take your time and make sure you've got everything that you need. So just settling in to how the body feels just now. So think about that. We're just feeling how the body is just now, and not how we would like it to be, but just how it is just now. So contacting how the body is just now, not overriding that with an idea of meditating. So feeling the body, just recognizing we're not really in control of the sensations of the body. Just open to this changeable experience of our body. And then just feeling the support of the ground, or if you're on the chair, support of the chair. Just allowing your weight to really drop into that contact. And just starting to soften through the body. Just noticing your face, around the eyes, forehead. Just allowing them to soften. And noticing the area of your shoulders. Becoming aware if you're gripping in your shoulders, tension. Breathing into the shoulders. Coming into contact with the area of the belly. Often we're gripping in the belly. So it's okay, just contacting sensations there. The discomfort particularly can be with that. Allow that to be there. And then just softening around the edges of the tummy. Just starting to let go. And noticing the thighs. And gripping the thighs. Just letting go. Just feeling the whole system calming down, settling down. Feeling the whole body. And then coming up close to the breath. In the texture of the breath. What's it like? Not assuming that we know what it's like. And then just opening up to the whole experience, sounds, some space around us. And the sensation and feeling of any thoughts that's going on. Activity of thought. Allowing any discomfort in the body. No pushing away, just making it worse. Just willing to feel whatever there is there to feel. And moving back to the breath. Clear focus of the breath, changeable texture. And if you go off, just broaden out to what's happening. Any tightness, the body. Then go into the support, the ground. Any pleasure. Just the eyelids resting. When you're ready, come back to the breath. Still there. Follow it through the in and the out breath. Every time you go off, just keep opening up again, open heart. What's happening? Open-heartedly, consistently, patiently moving between this focus and the breath. Coming back now to the weight of the body. Connection with ourselves, with the others who are meditating along with us. Okay. So like a good airline pilot, I've made up a little bit of time. Okay. Yeah, sure. Thanks, Cheryl. So in a moment we're going to transfer into Zoom world seamlessly. I now have a wired connection, so it will be a nice stable connection, and we'll be able to have a chance to talk about well, what we are mindful of. That's what we're going to be getting into in a second. What we're mindful of. We've been talking about awareness and qualities of awareness. What are we actually mindful of? We've got the 4 spheres of mindfulness that we're going to be getting into talking about after in the second half. Okay, and in a second, Cheryl will put the link in the chat, and I'll just see you in that. Yeah, just click onto the chat. Click onto the link in the chat, and then I'll see you in the second half. Okay. Also, thank you, Cheryl, for all your endeavours in this first half. Thank you, Jack, for your talk. Thanks very much. Thanks, guys, for meditating with us. Okay. Okay. No, it's everyone. It's everyone.
But shall I do both? Do you want me to put these?
No.
Okay, all right then. Okay, thanks for bearing with us, everybody. Let me just put this in.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, unable to connect to chat. Okay, if anyone's out there, can you tell me if you can see the link?
It's gone up there.
It's gone up. Good. Okay.
Do
you want me to end the stream now then?
Yeah, can they still see the chat?
Yeah. Okay. So if you can click on the link now, everybody, because I'm going to end the chat. So yeah, thank you for bearing with us. Bye bye.